morning. It is 7:15 in the morning, Saturday. Riding towards the Dalton. Really bumpy ride. About 12 miles of this compacted dirt. It's not too bad on the level, it's dry. Coming down a side of a hill or a mountain was a little bit unnerving, but not too bad. Back on the pavement, not very smooth. So it's about 8:20 in the morning, and I made it to the Dalton Highway, the famous, or infamous maybe, is the better term, Dalton Highway. It is pretty cool. It's about 44 degrees, sunny though, and I'm going to send a satellite signal to my wife asking her for a weather report update. This morning when I checked back at camp, it said that rain was going to hit this area between 5 and 6. So I can either go further north where there's a fuel station and refuel and try to head to the Arctic Circle and then back, or I've got to turn around here. So this is kind of the point of no return in terms of fuel is concerned. But in any event, here we are, Dalton Highway. Day number, what is it? Day number 6 of motorcycling. The grades are surprising. I didn't realize there were going to be some fairly significant grades. This is a 9% downgrade. Much less comfortable on the grades than I am on the flats with this gravel. What gorgeous terrain. The vistas are just spectacular. Alaska Pipeline. This road follows it all the way up to Prudhoe Bay. Not much traffic out here. There is a camper behind me, about a half a mile. Just past another camper heading south. And occasionally a large semi-truck, but not seeing a whole lot. Not completely desolate, but just not a lot. Here's the pipeline again. Finally, a little bit of pavement. Don't know how long it'll last. I'm only a few minutes away from the Yukon River crossing and the fuel station. You can see it's going to switch to dirt again. Got 7 miles, a little less to go. I would guess that's the Yukon River up here. Pipeline just crossed under that little bridge. That's definitely the Yukon River. The road is really bumpy. I just passed a sign that says the Arctic Circle is 60 miles away. So I got to make a decision up here whether I'm going to go for that or turn around and go back after I fill up with fuel. Yukon River, mighty river. They built this bridge. The pipeline is alongside this bridge. Wow. The wood is got huge gouges taken out of it. Almost more dangerous than the gravel road. Holy cow.
After filling up with fuel at the Yukon River Camp, I asked several southbound travelers what road conditions were like up north. I was told the roads were muddy, very slippery, and that there was rain. While sitting on a bench outside the store contemplating what to do, a northbound gentleman I was chatting with in the store, along with 2 of his friends, pulled up in their SUV to ask whether I wanted to join them riding to the Arctic Circle and then returning to the Yukon River Camp. What a lucky break. I jumped in and enjoyed the company of these newfound friends for the next several hours during the remaining trek to the Arctic Circle and back.
So call off your names.
Burke.
Israel.
Danny.
These three guys took me all the way up to the Arctic Circle from, what's the name of the river?
Yukon.
Yukon River. Thanks, guys. All right, I am headed south over the Yukon River. Three fine gentlemen. Really appreciate their taking me along with them up to the Arctic Circle. It was really muddy up north where there was a fair amount of rain, and it would have been tough going on a motorcycle. So yes, I would have loved to have gone there all the way on my own bike, but it just wasn't in the cards, not for my capabilities. But at least I got a chance to check one off the bucket list, so that was to go to the Arctic Circle. And so my thanks to those three guys, and Burke especially, for driving. Not easy driving. The roads were tougher, I think, north of the Yukon River than they are south. Not that either one's particularly easy, but in any event, I appreciate his efforts and really enjoyed the trip. So I am headed south now, and got about 55 miles of the Dalton to get through. And right now I've got the camp that I stayed at last night as a possible stopping spot, 2 hours 37 minutes. It's starting to spit rain here, so I want to get off these dirt roads as quickly as I can. But in any event, fun day, no doubt about it. Beautiful up there, and was really fortunate they were willing to lend a hand. Great guys. What landscape. There are three things that draw me to motorcycle travel. 1/3 is being able to ride a motorcycle. 1/3 is seeing places that I haven't seen before and experiencing things I haven't done before. And 1/3 are the people that I get a chance to meet and be with. And the three guys today really exemplified the importance of that 1/3. Just really great guys. Enjoyed myself. Got a chance to chat it up, hear about them, and they asked about me. It was just a great experience. So it's one of the, it's as important as the other two. As important as riding the actual motorcycle and seeing things. It's meeting people. So really enjoyed today, and as I think about it, I guess I'm really glad that I didn't ride my motorcycle up there, because if I did, I would have had a chance to meet those three fine men. Just spattering some rain. Hope that I can outrun it. They do not want to be on these roads with any kind of rain, especially with the mileage I need to put in the washboard here. Here's an example where the road narrows, and with oncoming traffic, you definitely have to decide about how you're going to handle it. Fortunately, there are not too many places like that. There's one where I came across a truck, and he headed for the shoulder much more than I did, because you can see the shoulders are pretty soft. So he took the brunt of it, thanks to him. There's another example where the two lanes kind of blend down into one. Not that there's much oncoming traffic, but you got to deal with it if they happen to hit the same spot as you at the same time. That's a good view of the Alaska pipeline. Danny said in the car they had a photo of some of the history of the pipeline. It's 48 inches in diameter. Runs 800 miles. And it was placed in service within a couple of years of when they started to build it, which is amazing. See, that's a trucker. He's looking out for me. He really hugged that shoulder for me because he knew that I had water to deal with here on the right. These people up here, they're just great. Truckers are great. It's been a great experience. I love Alaska for the people. People that live here and the people that visit here. Met a lot of nice visitors. One thing that's a little surprising to me up here is how green it is. A number of evergreen trees, but there are also trees with leaves. And it's all different colors and shades of green. You don't see mountains like those in Connecticut. Pretty impressive. This road feels just a little slick. It's an oversized load ahead. He asked me to follow him for a bit, and then when they find a safe spot, they're going to let me pass. So I just asked them to, when they pick that safe spot, pick one that's not too muddy in the other lane. This is a little sketchy. Looks like of course the truck is passing me. Looks like a storm came through here. Wow. Not like this at all. The back end started sliding out there. And the grade doesn't help either. Back end is fishtailing around a little bit. Trying not to use engine braking. Since the weight's on the front, I should actually shift my body up forward a little bit. That's better. I was so focused on the front that I didn't see that truck coming up behind me. Well, it's raining on me. It's been a while since I've seen a road sign, so I'm not quite sure how much further I have to go. I think I'm getting close to the end, but I don't know. Just gotta get off these roads. Alright, so I'm gonna put the camera away. There it is, Dalton Highway. It was close. Closer than I thought, actually. But still a little bit more to go before I get back onto pavement. And then, as I recall, the highway coming in here had some gravel as well. Just trying to be really easy on my controls so I don't unsettle the bike, but I want enough speed to use that angular momentum in the wheels to my benefit, because it helps keep the bike upright. My lens is probably getting all waterlogged. Alright, I'm off to Dalton. At least the unpaved section of it. You just have one more section of dirt road to go. But it's not on the Dalton. It's on the road to Fairbanks. I'm going to stop and see what the weather's supposed to be like tonight, whether we're going to get heavy rains or freezing temperatures tonight. And I may end up going into Fairbanks if we are. It's been kind of a long day and a miserable night's sleep last night, given the fact that people were up until the wee hours of the morning, given the nearly 24 hours of daylight. People were not, unfortunately, very respectful at the campsite last night. Some people were up laughing and chatting at 2 to 3 in the morning, which is kind of crazy. So I don't want to go through another night of that. But I'm going to stop once I get a good cell phone signal and figure out what I'm going to do, what the weather's like. This is another section of unpaved road near Living Good. I've forgotten how long this is. Several miles. Not quite done with the gravel roads. I keep running into them. Forgotten how many there were this morning. This looks like it's in pretty good shape though. Goes on mile after mile. Did see one solo motorcyclist a while back. I think that's the first one I've seen.
Mean looking bear trap. It's a scrimshaw, walrus skull and tusks, ivory and whalebone. Plane that was used by this Episcopal Bishop William Gordon Jr. Sunshine, a little breezy, but I'll take that sun. No clouds in the sky. So I'm at over at University of Alaska. There's a museum over there on Native Alaskans. It's supposed to be very good, about 6 miles away. That's my next stop. University of Alaska, Fairbanks. Museum of the North. Interesting building. The indigenous languages of Alaska. I had no idea that many. Just a little intimidating. An English cabinet maker that came to Fairbanks from Dawson City in 1905 made this totem pole in 1946. This is an explanation of the pipeline. I wondered what these metal vertical structures were. They're all up and down the pipeline that's above the ground, and it dissipates heat from the ground up through the posts into the air whenever the ground temperature exceeds the air temperature. Keeps the ground stable. Plains bison. That's kind of cool. Beaver pelt. Really soft. Brown bear fur. Not as soft. And lynx fur. Very soft. The lynx. The only member of the cat family found in Alaska. This is a model showing climbing routes up Denali, where 38,000 individuals have attempted to climb the peak. It's a little over a 50% success rate. It shows by year the success rate is about 1,000 to 1,200 per year. 1939 B Zig motorcycle. The indigenous baskets are just beautiful. craftsmanship that they have to show. Caribou skin sleeping bag. 5,495 pound copper nugget from the Wrangell Mountains. It's a bowhead whale. That's what a bowhead whale looks like. The upstairs is an art gallery. It's a nice museum. I'm going on 3 o'clock here. I'm going to go down to the downtown area of Fairbanks where there's a river walk. Not sure what's there. I think there's some restaurants and shops. And then I'll head to camp. That's my plan for the rest of the day. It's supposed to get cold tonight, maybe down near freezing. But I think it's going to be dry, so I can manage that. Downtown Fairbanks, high water mark Chena River, what of August 15th, 1967. Kind of quiet down here. Air Force set up a base here during World War II, given the threat of the Japanese. And they also moved planes and material over to Russia during World War II. This is a monument for it. I had a teacher in high school, taught economics, that was an Army Air Force guy who was posted up here. I remember him telling me about a plane that took off from one of the airports here and exploded on takeoff, apparently because of gas in the free gas in the aircraft caught fire and took the plane down. That's nice. I like that monument. It's very well done. I am headed back to the state recreation area. I was a couple days ago before I rode up to Dalton. Had mobile coverage there, which was nice, and some good protection from the wind because it's a little windy out right now. And I'll try to find somewhere else to go tomorrow night before I head south, or maybe when I do head south tomorrow. Not that long of a drive to Denali, only I don't know, 3-hour ride probably. And there's a museum, car museum I want to see in Fairbanks tomorrow. But I think I've kind of exhausted what I want to do up here, so it's time to start heading south, back towards Anchorage. The Alaska Pipeline, up close and personal. So parts of it are underground and parts of it are above ground. Depends on soil conditions and the temperatures. They put zigzags in it to allow for movement of the pipe. Based on what I was reading at that museum, look at that, they have the skids there. So it actually skids back and forth as it moves. And they have collars there that have a little give and take. And down here, you can see these pipes don't have the heat dispersing fins at the top, but these down here do. That's interesting. And it actually disperses heat from the ground into the air. As I was saying earlier, if the ground temperature is more than the air temperature, try to keep the base stable. This they call a pig. Actually travels through the pipeline with the oil. This one is a cleaning pig, but they also have monitoring pigs that can go through apparently and monitor the thickness of the wall of the pipe using ultrasonic signals and magnetic fields. I claim it's one of the most important tools available for protecting the pipeline and detecting potential problems. This pig scraped wax from the internal walls of the pipe. But once the system warmed up from the constant flow of the hot North Slope oil, wax buildup ended and they retired the pig. Polyurethane pigs smooth the flow of oil by reducing turbulence, making it easier to pump. Oil is approximately 100 degrees Fahrenheit as it passes this location. The scraper pig weighs 2,600 pounds and almost 1,000 pounds more than its replacement. That's amazing that the pressure in the pipe can push it over a ton, 2,600 pounds of metal through the pipe. So there are the cooling fins that pull heat up from below the earth. I think they use a fluid in order to transfer the heat up to the fins, and the fins dissipate the heat out into the atmosphere. It's an amazing piece of engineering. 800 miles long.
What glorious sunshine. My goodness. I brought my camp stove with me, my little one burner backpacking stove, and when I got into Anchorage, I bought a can of fuel, which obviously isn't allowed on aircraft. Bought a small one, and I did bring my cooking pot with me. I bought a can of soup or stew, so that's going to be the main course tonight for dinner. Guess I should have waited a day on the Dalton and maybe reversed what I did today with yesterday. Flipped it. It's very clear up there like it is here. The ground is probably dry by now. It's just too far to go again. If it were a little closer, I'd take a swing at it. Back in the gravel. Alright, we're going to see how many people are here on a Sunday night versus a Friday night. I am going to take campsite number 5, I believe. Not the best spot for a tent, but it's separated from people, so I don't have to worry about noise tonight. There are other people here. Probably set my tent up right over there. Cook over there. A little nicer than last time I was here. In terms of the weather, site number 5. Okay, for dinner is beef stew. Good on a cool evening. Cheese bagel, banana, raspberry pure leaf tea, and a donut for dessert. About 8 o'clock in the evening. There's a few campers here, not many. There's still some day people that are packing up and getting ready to leave. A little on the cool side. Got a couple things I want to do around Fairbanks tomorrow, and then I'm heading south to Anderson City where there's a city park, and I plan to stay there for tomorrow evening. If I head much further south into Denali, there's actually rain forecasted tomorrow, so I'm going to have to look at the weather report in the morning and decide what I'm going to do. Alaska's been different than what I expected. The rain in the beginning was brutal with the wind and the cold, but got through that, and it's been a good trip. It really has. Huge land. There was a picture of or a map of Alaska with Texas planted in the middle of it, and it just goes to show the scale of this particular state. It's just gigantic, and Texas looks small compared to it. So it's hard to believe that I got here a week ago, and I've got a few more days left, but the days are starting to count down now, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. About an hour ago, I moved my tent back to the further back in the site because this birch tree here that you can just see right behind my motorcycle top case that's leaning was creaking quite a bit. And while there's still a lot of greenery at the top of it, I was concerned that if there's any kind of wind, that thing might break. So moved it out of what I think would be the fall path of the tree. One benefit of the cool weather is that it's kept the mosquitoes down. A bit earlier this evening, there were a couple that were making a half-hearted attempt at biting me, but with the wind and the cooling temperatures, they've kind of disappeared. So they're huge mosquitoes. If it was warm here, it would be probably swarming with mosquitoes, but that is the one benefit of the colder weather in Alaska, is it knocks the mosquitoes down, keeps them away.